Copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Dakota Armstrong in the 98, moving by that 97 of Jeff Choquette.
But look at that truck of James Busher. You're able to work low on the racetrack. That's got to be an advantage, and he is good low.
Into the wall. Brendan Newberry in the 14 gets turned around, brings out her first caution. Early in this race.
Keep an eye on this. He gets a little bit loose underneath Tim George. Tim gives him some room. They make contact, but unfortunately around Brendan Newberry goes. A lot of damage to the left rear corner of that 14 truck.
Welcome back. Caution coming out. Just got into the wall. The 5 of Pauly Haraka. Looks as though potentially a right front tire going down.
Yeah, it does. Pauly had a great run going. He was running in the 12th spot. Had a good qualifying effort. Solid run last time out of Kentucky. This is one of the racetracks, probably the only racetrack that he goes to that'll have some experience. He ran here with the K&M Pro Series West Division. A lot of damage to that 5 truck.
A distance away.
Look, we're way out in front of the Miguel Paludo truck we're riding along with.
See the sparks. That's a right front failure into the outside wall. Pretty hard contact as well.
Fourth spot, we see Jason Leffler.
Oh, sideways. He's going to spin out.
Around goes the 18 of Leffler, right in front of the field.
Check up. It's in turn 4. Check up, check up, check up. Middle to racetrack.
Everyone stays clear.
That's just your classic on the inside. Get a little bit loose, slide up the hill, make a little contact, and around Jason Leffler went. The progressive banking gave him the opportunity to cut in on the inside. Didn't have enough bank to hold his truck straight, though. Check it out.
These guys have been running side by side for a number of laps.
And you've documented it, Phil. You made the comment, this is a short track that races like a super speedway. We always talk about this on the 1.5 miles and the big tracks.
You'd be able to pick up maybe a second a lap. Could be possibly in that range. Those other teams, oh, we got a spinner. This is going to be a bad break for Ty Dillon. It's John West Townley off turn 4.
Look how about our leader. Is it at the outside wall?
And so into the wall, the 31 of James Busher. We saw the 09 of John West Townley sliding out of turn number 4. How about these turns of events for James Busher?
All right, get your tools out.
You got to wonder if maybe that vibration Ty Dillon felt was a tire. We saw a tire failure earlier in the race. He lost his right front, and this is classic right front failure.
Working his way through 1 and 2, just about to exit turn 2 and slams into the wall.
Let's get inside of Timothy Peters' truck and watch.
I think he's thinking he's coming. He's reeling in that 17.
Man, come here, baby kitty. kitty. Got a smoker over in 3 and 4.
That's David Starr.
Caution is out.
And the 81 and the caution will come out. Bringing the field back together once again.
84 got into the fence.
Looked like maybe there was some fluid, and Chris Fontaine got into it, went up high.
So much flatter of a racetrack down at the bottom. Not as much caution grip, and we see the 39 of Ryan Sieg sideways. The caution comes out once again. Well, Hornaday extremely strong on the last restart. Made it 3 wide going into turn number 1. As they went down the backstretch, he takes the lead. Take a look at why the caution came out.
See Ty Bodine on the inside of Ryan Sieg. They make a little contact. Ryan gets up into the outside wall. Does a nice job of keeping that truck straight.
That was looked like it was going to be a big spin and crash. NASCAR throws a caution because of that truck being such.
And we're 3 wide once again.
Trouble.
And this time contact is made. Dakota Armstrong got into Cale Gale. Both of them straightened back out, but there's sparks coming out from the right side of the 98.
Oh, he's turned him.
And he turns him around and both go into the wall. The 98 of Dakota Armstrong got into the rear quarter panel to 33.
Did it look like that maybe the right front tire had an issue on Dakota Armstrong when they got down to turn 3?
Looked like his truck wouldn't turn.
Yeah,
when
he just
got
went
there.
straight.
There was definitely sparks on that right side. Cale Gale is going to drop the window net.
Yeah, I think you called it, Rick. The sparks, I believe there was a rub, and maybe when he got down to turn 3, he didn't have any ability to turn to the left.
Tried to turn, I'm sure. And
that's what happened to Cale Gale was that flat tire on the right front.
And there was contact between that 98 and the 33 originally.
Dakota got loose going down into turn 1, slid up into Cale Gale. That allowed Ty Dillon to drive around both of them. Ty Dillon's up to the 7th spot, Bill, after running 18th to 20th most this race. Let's see what happens here. You can watch the 98. He gets loose right there. Stays up for a bit, but then loose some more, and then into the side of Cale Gale.
We're going to stay with it right here. They get down to the corner. See, Joey Coulter moves to the inside. They get down to the corner. You could see Dakota Armstrong back off. He realized, he turned the wheel, nothing happened. He tried to avoid the 33 of Cale Gale, unfortunately couldn't do it.
Got away from him last time, and look at Ty Dillon. What a job by that team, getting him tuned up and competitive after a really tough couple of practices yesterday and today.
Definitely has bounced back, running in the top 10 now. Ty Dillon in the 7th spot.
And a tough early start to the race, as we talked about it. He was about 18th, 19th for a lot of the early part of this race.
They pitted early to work on that truck, and that working has helped him tremendously.
So Hornaday, after a very un-Hornaday-like restart, has Timothy Peters in front of him by almost a half a second. So Peters, Hornaday, Crafton, Sauter, and Lofton, your top 5. Then it's Leffler, Dillon, Coulter, Kligerman, and PK Jr.
We're getting down to it here, too. 6 to go this time by. Peters' truck really likes being out front. We saw him pull away in the short run all race long. He's able to do it here with Hornaday.
We saw the tweet by Sarah Peters, his wife, talking about how she was lacking oxygen, so nervous with her husband out in front and expecting their first child. I can't imagine what it's like for her right now.
Watch this restart here on the right side of our screen. Remember, Hornaday's the boss. That white truck, number 9, on the restart. Did he spin his tires, Michael?
It looked like he did. And look, Johnny Sauter had design going up the middle of those two. Couldn't quite fit in there. And look at Crafton sneaking around the outside of Sauter.
Johnny got loose down there. Once Crafton pulled up on his right rear corner, it got him loose.
Less than 5 laps to go. Hornaday trying to reel in that 17 of Timothy Peters. Closing the gap. Does he have enough time as they cross the stripe? 4 laps of racing remain from Iowa. Jeff Choquette on the inside of Todd Bodine. And they are racing hard.
Yeah, he got Todd a little bit sideways off turn 4, and he's taking that position away from Todd. They're battling along.
That's for 8th that Choquette's running now.
Up inside the top 10.
11th. We see Choquette in 11th, Bodine back in 12th. Miguel Paludo watching from behind. He's running 13th.
That's a solid night for Jeff Choquette. He's come in here and mixed it up. Just made a nice late race pass on former champ Todd Bodine. Set a passing grade for that young man and his team.
Absolutely. We talked to him yesterday during practice. He said, I want to be able to roll it into the trailer in one piece. Then he had a couple good practice sessions. He may have wanted a little bit more, but a top 15 here on the lead lap. A great effort by them.
You know, if Ron Hornaday did spin those tires, Timothy Peters still beat him to the start-finish line. The leader's supposed to be the guy that gets there first, so I'm glad there isn't a call there because Timmy gets a good start. Ron spins his tires a little bit. It was a really close battle to the start-finish line. I'm glad NASCAR said we're not going to get involved in that.
Yeah, I think the officials will look at that, and then when they see Ron Hornaday spins his tires, then they say, okay, no call.
Final lap. The 17 of Timothy Peters coming in. He was your points leader, looking to extend that points lead as he rockets down the backstretch and into turns 3 and 4, looking for his 4th career win. Timothy Peters coming out of turn number 4. He'll win in Iowa.
Nice job tonight, everybody. Thank you very much. That's the way, boys. Yes, sir. Man, that's the way to do it, boys. Woo! This is for my old man.
That's emotion. Feels good to hear that.
Crew Chief Butch Hill told me before the race, we need bonus points. We can finish in the top 5, top 10, but we need bonus points. They got most of them tonight.
Timothy Peters led 87 laps, so he doesn't lead the most laps. James Busher still gets the point for that, but the wins are very important when you race in NASCAR, and he gets 3 extra ones for this one. And that winning crew chief standing by with Ray.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.